Hey boys and girls, how's it going? We're on Chapter 3, Lesson 3, Area Models and Partial Products. So basically, you're going to use an area model to find the partial products as a way to multiply. Okay? We're starting with number 2, 18 times 34. Now, an area model is something like that. Okay, it starts with a rectangle. The word area, boys and girls, is the inside of a figure. Okay, it's how much is on the inside of a figure, like this rectangle. So we're figuring out how many squares are inside this figure, basically. If we have 18 rows of 34. Okay, so 18 rows, you know the 18 is going to go there, and 34 in each row. Okay, so we're going to use the break apart method to solve this. We're going to break apart 18 and we're going to break apart 34. Okay, so when we break apart 18, okay, I'll put the lines there and there, it breaks apart into 10 and 8. Now you can break apart numbers in lots of different ways, but I like to use place value like that because I always end up with a number like 10 with a 0 at the end and then the ones place. Okay, so we're going to put a line here, and up here that's 10 rows, and down here are the 8 rows. Okay, so now we have to break apart 34. And like I said, I like to use place value. We're going to break it apart into 30 and 4. Okay, so that's 34 in each row. So I'm going to put a line here. And this much of the in each row, that's 30. And then, whoop, what do you think goes there? 4. So we still have 18 rows of 34, but we have broken them apart. And you know what I'm going to do, boys and girls? I'm going to write the 30 and the 4 up here because that is how they have it in the textbook and on your homework. Okay, so we'll just make it look the same. But it is still 30 and 4 down here. But I know that in your book it's 30 and 4 are labeled on the top. So we'll do it that way. Okay? All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 partial products that we're going to get. 4 chunks of the area for this area model. All right, so let's start up here. This is 10 rows of 30. 10 rows of 30. Okay, 10 rows of 30. 1 times 3 is 3. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so piece by piece, we are going to get the final product. So that's the biggest piece probably, right? All right, so let's work on this part of the area. If this is 10 rows, boys and girls, this is going to be 10 rows also. You know a lot about rectangles. In rectangles, the parallel sides are the same length. If that's 10, then that's 10. So in this section, it's also 10 rows, but it's 10 rows of 4. 10 rows of 4. Here are the 4 right up there. 10 rows of 4 is 40. So now we have 2 sections figured out, right? This big one's worth 300. This one is worth 40. Those are 2 of the partial products. So let's move down to this one. Okay, it's 8 rows, and how many are in each row? 30. Because look, if there's 30 there, there are 30 there, there are 30 there, there are 30 in each row. We have 8 rows of 30. So how much is 8 rows of 30? Let me see. 8 times 3, 8 times 2 is 16, and 8 more is 24, and add on a 0, add on a 0. Okay? You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to circle all of the partial products that we have so far so they don't get lost in all this writing. Okay? So far we have 3 partial products. The only one we haven't done yet is this little precious over here, right? Okay, so in this section we're just multiplying the ones. We have 8 rows here. So how many rows are here? 8. 8 rows of, how many in each row in this little box? Well, let's see. What's a parallel line? Oh, right up there. Yep. If that's 4, then that's 4. It's 8 rows of 4. Okay? 8 times 4. Oh, right over here I did 8 times 3 is 24. So 8 times 4, let's see, 32. Okay? And let's circle that one. So we have 4 partial products that we found using an area model. So what do we do with those 4 partial products? Well, we have to combine them all. We have to put them all back together to make a final product, okay? So we are going to put them back together piece by adding them. And 32. And we add them, okay? 300, 340, 240, and 32 are 4 partial products we're going to add together to get the final product. Ones place, okay? 2, 0, 0 is 2, okay? 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11. And then 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 more is 6. 6. Let me write it better since it's on the line there. 18 times 34 is 612. We figured it out by using area model and partial products. All right, let's do another one. 19 times 36. So this is number 6, boys and girls. Okay, so did you find that one? All right, number 6. Let's make an area model. Okay, 19 rows of 36. So 19 rows of 36. We are going to break these apart. So 19, I'm going to draw a line right there. 19, break apart 19 by place value. Okay, breaks apart into a 10 and 9 ones. All right, now let's look at 36. We're going to break 36 apart by place value. 3 sets of 10 is 6 ones, so that's 30 and 6. All right, guys? Okay, so now let's find the 4 partial products. So we just broke apart 19 and 36, and we're going to multiply them place value by place value. Every place value gets multiplied by the other place value when you multiply. Okay? So here we have 10 rows of 30. We just did this one, didn't we, boys and girls, in the other problem? 10 rows of 30. 1 times 3 is 3. 0, 0 is 300. All right. So now let's go to this one. 10 rows of 6. How did I know that was 10 rows? It's not even labeled because this is 10 rows. Okay? And it's a rectangle. Parallel lines of the rectangle are the same length. So 10 rows of, here are the 6, is 60. So let's do this one down here. 9 rows of what? This one's not labeled either. 9 rows of what? Let's find a parallel line that is labeled. Well, there's a parallel line not labeled. Oh, look up here. Ding, 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 ding. There it is. It's 30. So this is 30, then this is 30. 9 rows of 30. So 9 times 3 is 27, and 1 0, 270. And then we have our little precious at the end. Okay, the little guy here. Boink, 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 boink. That's just our ones place. That's all that we have left. So when I look at that little guy, nothing is labeled. Right, guys? Not one single thing on there is labeled. So we have to go look for parallel lines. Well, there's a parallel line with no label, not helpful. Look way down here though. Ah, there's one, 9. So we're going to have 9 rows of, now let's take a look, 9 rows of no label, no label. Where's another parallel line? There it is, labeled. 9 rows of 6. So what's 9 times 6? Well, I bet you know 9 times 5, right? 45 plus 9 more, 54, or you can use your handy dandy nines trick. All right, guys? All right, so we just use an area model, and we found 4 partial products. What do we do with all those partial products now? We put them back together to find the actual product. Okay, so there's 300, and there's 60, and 270, and then 54. Okay, so add them up. 4. And so let's see. 5 plus 7 plus 6. Nothing handy there to add together. Well, let's do 5 plus 6 is 11, right? I can do that quickly. 5 plus 6 is 11, and then 7 more is 18. And then 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 more is 6. Okay? So 19 times 36 is 684. Nice work. All right, let's go on to another. So this is number 7, and you can see that it's like done, right? Are you thinking, well, wait a second, this looks like an area model with 4 partial products. That's all finished. Well, let's see what the question says. Okay, let's take a look at number 7. Sebastian made the following model to find the product of 17 times 24. Is his model correct? Aha. Okay, let's check it. Well, let's start up here with 17 times 24. He had to break apart 17, 10 plus 7. Okay, he did that right. 24, 20, and 4 makes 24. All right, that looks good so far. So let's go through each of the 4 partial product sections here. 10 times 20. Is 10 times 20 200? 1 times 2 is 2, 0, 0. Yep, that looks good. All right, let's go down to this one. It's 7 rows of 20. So I'm going to have to do that over to the side. 7 rows of 20. right? You found that 20 up there, boys and girls? Okay, so that's a row of 20. If that's a row of 20, they're parallel lines. Okay, so let's see, 7 rows of 20. 7 times 2 is 14. Add on a 0. 140. What did Sebastian put? Uh-oh. What did he do there? He said 7 times 20 is 14. Okay, so he forgot to add on that extra 0. Okay, so I think we can stop there. Let me just really quickly check here. 10 times 4 is 40. And then here it's 7 times 4. 7 times 4. Yep, 7 times 4 is 28. So is his model correct? No. Now, how would you explain that? We can just say he multiplied 7 times 20 wrong. How about that? Okay. All right, Sebastian. Focus on the 0, Sebastian. All right, let's go to the next problem. So, guys, now we're on the back. Turn your paper over to the back. Which product does the model below represent? Okay, so it looks like this probably was 15 times, now look what they did up here, guys. They did 13 and 2. So 13, 14, 15. They broke apart 15 in a different way, and that's okay. We have not been doing it that way, right? We've been using place value, but it's okay to break it apart any way you want. But to be honest, I would rather be multiplying a 10 than a 13, right? Okay, so which product does the model below represent? So we have a list of products, and we have 4 partial products. So what do you think we should do with these partial products, boys and girls? I think we should add them together, right? To get a final product. 10. Okay, so I did 130, 20, 65, and 10. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 5, and 0. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. 225. Oh, there it is. 225. Okay, so you're going to be presented area models in lots of different ways. And this one, we had to find out what the final product was. All right, let's go on to a review question. This is number 3. Mariah builds a tabletop. Now you're following with me, right? Mariah builds a tabletop using square tiles. There are 12 rows of tiles and 30 tiles in each row. How many tiles in all does Mariah use? Okay, 12 rows of 30. Well, you could draw an area model for this if you wanted to, but we just did this a couple of lessons ago. Okay, guys, so let's think about 12 times 3, right? 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3, and then ring-a-ding-ding, add that 0 on. Right, guys? So you didn't need to use an area model for that one. You're going to not need to use an area model pretty soon for any of these multiplication problems, but they're nice. Okay? All right, you guys, fantastic work. Do the rest of the problems.